the heavily fortified borders of the Reich, Canadians, British, Americans, and French seek to widen the cracks in the Nazi defense system. The dogged foot-by-foot advance of the Allies depends heavily on the infantry, mainstay of the attack when the weather closes in on the battlefront and the going gets tough. In German border towns such as Bischweiler, Yank troops fight through backyards and from house to house, while mortar crews cover their attack, raining shells into enemy positions. The desperately fighting infantry suffers many casualties as the Nazis retreat toward the shelter of the West Wall. Fighting toward the rich industrial regions of the Ruhr and the Saar, the Allies seek to wrest from the Germans their richest sources of fuel and steel. Strasbourg, capital of Alsace-Lorraine, and one of the important gateways to the Rhineland, is occupied by Yanks and French. The flooded Rhine Canal is evidence of the torrential rains that have hampered the Allied drive. Signs direct the victors to the center of the city. A direct hit by a German artillery shell sets fire to American jeeps and trucks used by the French Army. These are newsreel and signal corps pictures. Liberated townsfolk lose no time in cleaning out Nazi headquarters. Heavy guns abandoned by the retreating enemy are captured intact. Beyond Mulhouse, southern end of the Allied attack, the fleeing Germans set fire to villages before leaving. The French clean up enemy resistance, seizing many prisoners at Gestapo headquarters. Along the roads, long lines of prisoners and civilians stream to the rear. Civilians forced to work for the Germans are free to return to their homes. The Allied drive moves on toward freedom for all of Europe.
Strong carrier units of our great Pacific Fleet steam towards the island of Luzon in the Philippines for a blow at Manila. This maneuver is designed to help our men fighting on Leyte. Admiral Radford commands this carrier division, and the men under him receive last instructions before they take off to smash at this more Jap planes to his credit and out for more. Newsreel and Navy photographers record the thrilling action. Planes come out to sea to attack. Bombs fall close. Some bombs hit. Here, a Hellcat absorbed the bomb's force. The terrific screen of anti-aircraft fire thrown up by our force accounts for 28 nipped planes. As crews fight fires aboard some of the carriers, our own planes bombed shipping and airfields at Manila. They run up an impressive score. 14 ships were sunk or damaged, and 140 planes shot up on the ground. Round one for Uncle Sam.
The National Association of Manufacturers, meeting in a War and Reconversion Congress, hear General Somervell, in charge of supplying our armies, call on industry for more production.
American industry and American workers must rededicate themselves here and now to an upsurge of production on the home front so that our forces on all fronts shall be limited in their use of materiel only by our ability to get it to them and by elbow room on the fighting fronts in which to use it. The kind of war we shall fight is in the balance. the decision as to the weight we shall show. And this is the time for a decision. And I know what it will be. Thank you.
With the war increasing in fury, more and more doctors and nurses have been called to help our men at the front. A hard job, they are doing it well. But they've left a gap on the home front that can only be filled by nurses' aides, those heroines who are facing a gigantic task without flinching. Many more nurses' aides are needed to receive this same careful instruction in hospital care and to step in and help both wounded servicemen and civilians. The hospital in your hometown needs help to care for the wives of soldiers, for example. And the Army and Navy need the services of any girl over 18 to aid in nursing convalescent veterans back to health. Help your neighbors and your community. Apply at your local Red Cross chapter.
The curtain goes up on big-time collegiate basketball as New York University scores its first goal against the University of Rochester in Madison Square Garden. Rochester moves down the floor and in a matter of seconds ties it up. New York U, supposed to be one of the strongest teams in the East this season, rings up another 2 points. Now it's Rochester's turn to put on an exciting show for the customers. And they do it. New York U's ball. Although the score was 20-all at halftime, the flash of this speedy violet outfit warns the entire basketball world that N.Y.U is out for blood as they hang up a 53-39 win over Rochester.